Today, we're talking about something that sits underneath every curriculum, every timetable, every learning activity: motivation. Because here's the truth: if a child isn't motivated, even the best resources in the world won't work. And if they're motivated, learning becomes powerful and long lasting. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Kate Education. If you're new here, I'm Kate, an education and homeschooling consultant, here to support you on your home education journey, one step at a time. A quick reflection. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been so absorbed in learning something new that you completely lost track of time? And now compare that to a moment when you had to force yourself through something that you really didn't want to do. What was the difference? Often it comes down to whether your motivation was intrinsic or extrinsic. And understanding that difference can completely change the way you approach home education. What do we mean by intrinsic and extrinsic motivation? Let's break it down simply. Intrinsic motivation comes from within. It's the natural drive to do something because it's interesting or it's enjoyable or it's personally satisfying. A child who sketches for hours because they love sketching, that's intrinsic. A child who researches dinosaurs because they simply have to know more, it's intrinsic. It's curiosity led, it's joy led, it's purpose led. Now, extrinsic motivation comes from outside. So it might be stickers, praise, pocket money, extra screen time, avoiding a consequence. If a child tidies their room to earn pocket money, that's extrinsic. If they practice the piano just to avoid losing screen time, that's extrinsic. And here's the important part: neither one is bad. We all respond to external motivators sometimes. But lasting and meaningful learning, that grows most powerfully from intrinsic motivation. A research perspective. This isn't just opinion, it's grounded in educational theory. Psychologist Jerome Bruner explored this in his 1966 book entitled Towards a Theory of Instruction. He acknowledged that extrinsic rewards like praise and prizes can be useful, especially with younger children. But he also advised a considerable de emphasis of extrinsic rewards and punishments as factors in school learning. In other words, rewards can keep the learning moving in the short term, but they don't build that deep love of learning. Bruner highlighted the intrinsic rewards that really matter, such as the satisfaction of learning something new, the joy of using your mind fully, the pride that comes with mastery, the pleasure of collaboration, and the deep human need to share and to respond. Extrinsic rewards might start the engine, but it's the intrinsic motivation that will keep it running. In the traditional classroom, in schools, teachers constantly balance between the two. A maths teacher might give stickers for completed work. That's extrinsic. But they'll also design lessons like puzzles or escape games to spark curiosity. That's intrinsic. A reading teacher might praise a child for finishing a book, extrinsic, but they'll nurture curiosity about the story so that the child keeps reading for joy, intrinsic. Over time, teachers are trained to reduce reliance on external rewards and help pupils find internal satisfaction instead. So, what about homeschooling? As a home educating parent, you are in a unique position. You are both parent and teacher. You get to shape how motivation works in your home. So, it's worth asking, is my child learning because they're genuinely curious or because they're being pushed by rewards and consequences? For example, if your child loves building Lego because they love to experiment, intrinsic. But if they only build because dessert is promised, extrinsic. If they practice the piano because they love the sound that they create, intrinsic. If they practice only to avoid losing privileges, extrinsic. Again, extrinsic motivators can be helpful when a child feels stuck or reluctant, but the richest home education environments nurture intrinsic motivation. Reflective questions for you. Pause and consider. When your child learns at home, what's driving them most often? Are you relying heavily on treats, praise, or screen time incentives? What naturally sparks their curiosity? How can you build from something that already motivates them? Sometimes even a simple awareness of this alone can change everything. Practical ways to nurture intrinsic motivation. The good news is this doesn't require a dramatic overhaul. Small shifts can make a powerful difference. So here are 4 practical ways that you can begin this shift. Offer meaningful choice. So choices build ownership, and ownership fuels motivation. You might let your child choose the order of subjects for the day, decide how to present their work, select a book within a theme. Even small choices can increase agency, and that agency builds internal drive. Focus on mastery, not performance. Instead of saying, well done, 10 out of 10, try. You kept trying different strategies until it worked. That persistence paid off. Shift from the outcome to the effort, from the performance to the growth that they're doing. This helps children to internalize satisfaction instead of just seeking your approval. Connect learning to real life. Learning feels meaningful when it has purpose beyond a worksheet. Maths comes alive when you're weighing for baking or you're calculating for a budget. Writing becomes powerful when sending real letters or real emails. Science becomes tangible in the garden or the kitchen. When children see relevance, motivation deepens. Allow a deep exploration. If your child becomes fascinated by something, go for it. Whether it's ancient Egypt, marine life, Lego engineering, creative writing, sustained curiosity about something really strengthens their attention and their resilience. And passion in one area often spills over into other areas. And that's when powerful learning happens. Some final thoughts. Home education gives you something truly special. The freedom to build an environment where your child learns not just for a sticker, not just for a treat, not just for praise, but for the joy of understanding. And when we nurture curiosity and mastery, purpose and choice, we can raise our children to be self-motivated, resilient, engaged, and confident learners. Because in the end, motivation, it grows best when we nurture it from within, one step at a time. If this was helpful, I'd love for you to like and subscribe so that more families can find this support. And I'd love to know in the comments what naturally motivates your child. What sparks their curiosity? Let's talk about it and share our ideas below. I'll see you in the next video.